Something felt off, but I couldn't explain it. She didn't change overnight. It was slow, subtle, the kind of change you don't notice at first until it starts bothering you. At first it was small things. She would ask strange questions out of nowhere. Would you ever leave me if someone better came along? I laughed it off. What kind of question is that? She just smiled, just asking. But it didn't feel like just asking. It felt like she was watching my answer, judging it. Then came the silence. She would ignore my messages for hours, then reply like nothing happened. Cold, short, distant. I thought maybe she was busy. But then I'd see her online. Active. Just not with me. That's when it started to get under my skin. One night we were out together. Everything felt normal until it didn't. A guy walked up to her, confident, smiling. Started talking to her like I wasn't even there. And she let him. She didn't stop him. Didn't introduce me. Didn't even look uncomfortable. She laughed at his jokes. Played along. Like I didn't exist. I stood there frozen, waiting for her to say something, to do something. But she didn't. After a few minutes, the guy left. And she looked at me like nothing happened. "What?" she said casually. "What was that?" I asked. She shrugged. "Relax, it's not a big deal." Not a big deal. I felt something tighten in my chest. That wasn't normal. That wasn't respect. That was something else. And deep down I knew it. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This was intentional. Calculated. Like she was trying to see how far she could go. How I would react. That's when the thought hit me. Clear. Uncomfortable. Real. She wasn't acting strange. She was testing me. And I didn't even realize. I was already part of the game. After that night, things didn't go back to normal. They got worse. Not loud. Not obvious. But sharper. More intentional. She started pulling away, just enough for me to notice. Late replies turned into no replies. Short answers turned into silence. And every time I tried to talk, she made me feel like I was overreacting. "You think too much," she said once. Maybe I did. But something inside me wasn't comfortable. Something felt off. Then came the comparisons. Out of nowhere. "Why don't you go to the gym like other guys? I like confident men. You're too calm sometimes." Those words weren't jokes. They were small cuts. And I felt every one of them. I tried to stay patient. Tried to stay calm. But inside it was building. Then one day, she did something that changed everything. She told me she was going out with friends. I said okay. Simple. But later that night I saw her. Not with friends. With another guy. Laughing. Walking close. Too close. Like I wasn't even part of her life. I didn't walk up to her. I didn't make a scene. I just stood there watching. And for the first time, I didn't feel jealous. I felt disrespected. Deeply. Because this wasn't confusion anymore. This was maybe. This was clear. She was pushing boundaries. Watching my reaction. Testing how much I would tolerate. And the worst part, she expected me to stay the same. To accept it. To chase her harder. To prove myself. But something inside me shifted in that moment. Quietly. Strongly. I walked away. No confrontation. No drama. Because I finally understood. This wasn't love. This was control. expected. I wasn't going to chase. I wasn't going to explain. If she wanted to play games, then I was about to change the rules. I didn't confront her. That's what she expected. Drama, questions, emotion. But I gave her none of that. The next day, I acted normal. Too normal. I didn't ask where she went. Didn't mention what I saw. Didn't even bring up her name in conversation. At first, she didn't know it. Or maybe she was waiting for me to react, to chase, to prove something. But I didn't. And that's when things started to feel different. Inside me, for the first time, I wasn't confused. I was clear. Clear about what was happening. Clear about what she was doing. And more importantly, clear about what I needed to do. I stopped texting her first. Stopped checking if she replied. Stopped waiting for her attention. And slowly, something strange happened. Silence. Not from her. From me. The same silence she used on me. I gave it back. But mine wasn't emotional. It was controlled. Calculated. One evening she finally said it. "You've been quiet lately." I looked at her calmly, just busy. She frowned slightly. That wasn't the answer she expected. Because I didn't explain. I didn't justify. I didn't care enough to go deeper. And that's when I saw it. Confusion. Real confusion. She wasn't used to this version of me. The one who didn't react. Didn't chase. Didn't try to fix things. And that's when I understood something powerful. She didn't want respect. She wanted reaction. She wanted control. And I had been giving it to her without realizing. But now I saw the pattern. Every test. Every move. Every moment she tried to push me. And for the first time, I wasn't playing along. I was stepping back. Watching. Learning. Because the game only works if you react. And I had just stopped reacting. That changed everything. Because now, she didn't know what I was thinking. She didn't know how I would respond. And that made her uncomfortable. Because the moment she lost control of me, the game started slipping away from her. And for the first time, I wasn't the one being tested anymore. I was the one taking control. I didn't announce the change. I became it. No speeches, no warnings, no "we need to talk." Just distance. Not cold, not rude. Controlled. The next morning I woke up earlier than usual. The room was quiet, and for once my head was too. I went out. No message to her. No good morning. No update. Just gone. I started building a routine. Simple things at first. A walk. Then a run. Then the gym. Not to impress her. Not to make her jealous. But to get myself back. Every rep felt like I was pushing something out of me. The need to chase. The need to explain. The need to prove my worth. I didn't check my phone. Didn't wait for her messages. When I got back, she was on the couch. "Where were you?" she asked. "Out," I said. That was it. No details. No story. She looked at me like she expected more. I didn't give it. That's when I saw it again. Confusion. And something else. A little frustration. Good. Days passed like that. I kept my focus. Worked gym my own plans. I stopped asking what she was doing. Stopped reacting when she went out. Stopped playing the role she gave me. One evening, we were at the same place where she once entertained that guy. Same music, same lights. Different me. Another guy came up to her again. Same confidence, same smile. He started talking. I watched. Calm. She laughed once, then stopped. Looked at me. I held eye contact. No anger, no jealousy. Just presence. Something shifted in her face. She stepped back from him. Sorry, I'm with someone, she said. The guy left. I I wasn't playing. I had changed the game. And for the first time, she realized she wasn't the one in control anymore. I was. Everything started changing after that. Not overnight, but steady, real. I kept my routine. Woke up early, focused on work, stayed consistent with the gym, took care of myself in ways I never did before. Not for her, for me. And slowly I felt it. That confidence coming back. The same energy I had lost was rebuilding. Stronger this time. Calmer. More controlled. I stopped checking if she noticed. Because I didn't need her to. But she did. Of course she did. You've been busy lately, she said one evening. I nodded, yeah. She waited. Like she expected more. I didn't give it. That silence made her uncomfortable. Before, I used to fill every gap. Now I let it stay empty. And that's when I saw the shift. She started trying. Small things. Sitting closer. Talking more. Asking questions. Things she stopped doing a long time ago. But now, it felt different. Not natural. More like effort. And I noticed something else too. She stopped testing me. No more random comparisons. No more pushing boundaries. No more games. Because the game only works when the other person plays. And I wasn't playing anymore. One night she looked at me and said, "You feel different." I met her eyes. "I am," I said calmly. That answer stayed in the air. Heavy, real, because she could feel it. The distance, the control, the version of me she couldn't read anymore. And that bothered her, because she wasn't used to not knowing, not controlling, not influencing. But I wasn't doing it to prove a point. I was doing it because I had finally learned something important. Respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you build within yourself. And once you have it, everything changes. The way you think, the way you act, the way people treat you, even her. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I had to fight for her attention. Because I had something better. Myself. And that was enough. She couldn't ignore it anymore. The chain, the distance, the fact that I wasn't reacting like before. One evening, she sat across from me quiet. Not scrolling. Not distracted. Just watching me. "Can we talk?" she finally said. I nodded. Calm. No pressure. No expectation. She took a deep breath. "I feel like I'm losing you." For a second, I just looked at her. Those words felt familiar. Because that's exactly how I felt not long ago. But I didn't say that. I just asked, "Why do you feel that?" She hesitated. "That's just it, I don't know," she said. You've changed, you don't react. You don't care about the things you used to. Care? That word almost made me smile. Because I still cared. Just not in the way she was used to. I'm just focused, I replied. Simple. But it hit her. Because she wanted more. More emotion. More reaction. More control. She leaned forward slightly. Did I do something wrong? There it was. The question. Not confident. Not playful. Uncertain. And for the first time, she wasn't testing me. She was trying to understand me. I held her gaze. You tested me, I said calmly. Her expression changed instantly. Confusion, then realization. I didn't mean, she started. You did, I cut her off gently. Maybe not the way you think, but you pushed boundaries. You watched how I reacted. She went silent. Because she knew. Deep down she knew. I thought it was harmless, she said softly. It wasn't, I replied. My voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. Because the truth was enough. She looked down, her fingers tightening slightly. I didn't realize it would push you away, she whispered. I leaned back. Calm. Stable. It didn't push me away, I said. It made me see things clearly. That sentence changed everything. Because now, this wasn't about her anymore. It was about me. And the version of me that wasn't going to be controlled again. She looked up at me, different this time. Not testing. Not playing. Just unsure. Because the same guy she once tested was no longer part of the game. And she could feel it. The shift. The control slipping. Because now, I wasn't reacting to her anymore. I was responding to myself. She looked at me, waiting. Not with confidence. Not with control. But with uncertainty. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said softly. I believed her. But that didn't change anything. Because intent doesn't erase impact. I know, I replied calmly. That surprised her. She expected anger. Blame. Something emotional. But I wasn't there anymore. She leaned forward slightly. Can we fix this? That question. It would have meant everything to me before. I would have said yes without thinking. Tried harder. Given more. But now I understood something I didn't before. You don't fix something built on imbalance. You rebuild yourself and decide if it still fits your life. I took a slow breath. This isn't about fixing, I said. She frowned slightly. Then what is it about? I looked at her. Clear. Focused. Respect, I said. That word stayed between us. Heavy. Real. You tested me, I continued. Not because you were unsure of me, but because you were used to control. She didn't argue. She couldn't. Because she knew. I played along at first, I said. I reacted, I chased, I tried to prove myself. I paused. Then added. But I don't do that anymore. Silence. Deep silence. I didn't lose you, I said calmly. I stepped out of something that wasn't healthy. Her eyes filled slightly. Does that mean you're leaving? She asked. I stood up slowly. Not in anger. Not in pain. But in control. It means I'm choosing myself, I replied. That answer said everything. No drama. No harsh words. Just truth. I walked toward the door. She didn't stop me. Because for the first time, she understood something clearly. This wasn't a game anymore. And I wasn't a player in it. As I stepped outside, the air felt lighter. Clearer. Like I had left something behind that no longer belonged to me. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. The moment you stop reacting, you start leading your own life. She tested me, but I didn't fail. I evolved. And that was the real win.